Good morning. It's the 26th of January 2022, and after the other day when I took you to La Pierre Planche, that little granite bridge, I want to take you this morning to my other little magical place, which is the little Millpond that's just near my home as well. It's freezing cold. It's about -2, I think, probably even less than that, but it's absolutely gorgeous morning, and I thought it an ideal moment really to show the magic. So here we go. So first of all, before we get there, I just want to show a little view of the valley. That house there is owned by Dutch people. It's a gîte, absolutely gorgeous place. That is one of the mills, and this is the mill that the Millpond feeds into. And I'm just going to show you right now. Here's my car. And the lovely thing about here as well is there's very few people that come here. It's very quiet. It's really cold. I've got fingerless gloves on this one. I should have put full gloves on, but then it's not so easy for touching the screen. There's so many. I love this place. It's so magical, and there's lots of little bits you can go and visit. For example, going up there, which I will show you on maybe on the next video I'm going to do from here. I don't know if you can see it, but the top right there's lots of beehives, which I'll show on the next video. But there's beehives. There's still bees in there. I did check. But they're really, I think they're just disused now and abandoned, but the bees haven't abandoned them. They're still busy around in there. It's a cold and frosty morning, and this literally, a kilometre, not even from my house. So the first day I came up here, in actual fact we stopped in here just to see what wildflowers were growing in the car park, and then one day I decided to come over and investigate and see where this path went. And then I saw this little hut and some steps, and you can hear the water running here. We'll see what the light's like. There's an old fallen tree there, and it's very rocky. There's lots of these little outcrops here of old rock, and I found it very mysterious with little steps going up. And as I got to the top of the steps, this is what I saw. Now, what a shame that there's loads of bits and pieces here, and it's completely frozen over. But I find this place so magical. This little place I bring my cushion here. I've got a little cushion I come and sit down on. You can actually climb up in this woodland. I have to be really careful. Obviously it's icy this morning, and the path is very narrow. It doesn't actually go all the way around. I'll take you to the one point where I can get as far as I can. This is where I also sit. But what I love here is how that sun just shines through these such tall pines. I know it is on the water. Yeah, this water is completely frozen at the moment. It's actually better to come earlier. They may have come slightly too late, maybe an hour earlier, and the sun will be much lower. And this would be gorgeous in the springtime. But it's just that light. It's so gorgeous. And it's so peaceful here. I mean, there's nobody, and you can't actually be seen from anywhere here. And if I take you not easy filming and holding a camera whilst also try not to slip into the water. But there is a very beautiful energy about this place. And this is what I love as well, is going up under the trees, kind of like off-roading if you want. I really do see why I bought docks in the end, you know. It's holly here. There's fallen trees. What is that saying, that philosopher question? If a tree falls in a wood and nobody hears it, does it actually make a sound? You see how the light is just so beautiful here. So when I see this place, it kind of reminds me of our woodland, the undisturbed nature of it. The moss on these trees. And obviously there's nothing better than the sound of walking on leaves. You just get these dips. Trees that have just fallen. It's quite eerie really in some ways. But I just love the moss and just how it hangs off branches. Trees have just fallen, one on top of another. So icy cold this morning. The sound of the crunching. Lots of these little dips in the land. So many trees just fall. The beauty of nature. It's a living world. A living world right under our feet. And this is what I love. So beautiful. Now what I'm trying to do, climbing between all these when this happens, yes. I'm going to take you up to the path that we saw where the beehives were. I feel like I'm walking through a mini forest here. The forest, probably these trees were probably anything, all these little trees. Well, they will be like in 100 years' time, you know. Who'll be walking through these trees when these trees are grown up? Obviously not all will survive. So when I first came here, I went up that little path where the beehives were, and I saw a building that looked derelict, and this kind of, my fears came up, me thinking, oh my God, is somebody living in there? And you'll see what I mean, and it's quite eerie. It's in fact an abandoned garage. There's some very, very old vehicles in it. So old freezer lorries. So we have an old Renault 5 here, one of the classic French cars. They're all classics in here. Right at the back there's an old DS, a Citroen DS. So what I didn't realise, because DS, it's like two letters DS, but DS in French means a goddess. It's a goddess car. And then here we have the old Citroen vans. And all these abandoned cars. I can zoom in. There's the old DS there. Quite incredible. And the old Renault 5. Quite eerie. Just in the middle. And in actual fact, this garage, the entrance is on the road to Saint Christophe, which is a commune that we belong to. But it's very odd. But I'm going to now walk you back down this path. Oh, my finger's freezing off. That's where we were. I can't wait to see what this place is like in springtime. And this place I only discovered in the winter, I think it was. And it's just a beautiful place to walk around, because you know, a lot of woodlands we find they become quite public and there's people walking their dogs, but here, especially in winter, nobody comes. And it's really when you see the beauty of the trees and the green. The green on the trees is wonderful. You know, and it's just how nature, just ivy. I've got a thing about ivy because of the colours of it. And these little micro worlds of moss. The birds are beginning to sing now. We begin to feel spring is not far, and in France, once Christmas is over, you begin to feel spring, and the birds are certainly, you know, beginning to chirp and their spring songs. And yesterday, we're actually on the migratory path of the crane birds who fly. They migrate between Sweden, Scandinavia and Africa and Spain. Now normally they fly down to Africa from around about October, November, but we didn't see them until December last year. And then they fly back around about March, April. Well, we saw them flying over yesterday, which means it's like their migratory time is already over. Now cranes normally need 3 months minimum to hatch and allow their chicks to grow, so that the chicks can also follow them back. So if their migratory path has changed, if their time has changed, those babies might not be able to fly, which means that the cranes will disappear. And I'm just wondering if 5G has something to do with that. So here are the beehives. Let's see if I can climb up here. And we see how these beehives have been totally abandoned. Oh, the bees probably won't be out because it's so cold. There are all beehives. More tree trunks just fallen. I mean, just look at the green, the different colour greens on this. It fascinates me, and you know, I could literally cry sometimes at the beauty of nature. Cry and wonder and joy. And it's really nice if at any moment you're feeling stressed, it's just to come out and take photos of close-ups of nature and really concentrate on the inner beauty of that, because it brings us right into the present moment. So I'll leave you with this. And I will see you on the next video.